Lead is one of naturally occurring chemical elements or heavy metal found in small amounts in the Earth's crust. Lead has a relatively high density and can cause toxicity even at low concentrations, as it tends to bioaccumulate in the body. In Malaysia, there are few cases of lead poisoning. For instance, there are reports on playgrounds in Penang which are found to have dangerous levels of lead and the illegal dumping of heavy metal in streams and rivers in Kuala Lumpur. Many people are not aware that they are dangerously exposed to various lead sources until the symptoms appear. In this case, a harmful amount of lead has already built in the body. Lead poisoning normally occurs slowly over a period of months to years, with repeated exposure of smaller lead amounts. It is hard to detect the presence of lead in the body until its accumulation reaches a dangerous level. The level of content of lead in blood is about 10 mg per dl for children and 25 mg per dl for adults. To add, lead is also removed from the body extremely slowly. There are some treatments available to treat lead poisoning. However, the precautions taken by the society and government can avoid people from lead exposure, thus preventing them from lead poisoning.
Who needs to know about lead poisoning? First and foremost, parents. Lead poisoning can occur at any age, and children under 6 years old are a group of people that are mostly affected. Lead commonly found in environment and industrial facilities such as soil, water, paint, and even toys. Lead slowly but surely will lower the IQ along with the difficulty in learning and behavior problems if the children are exposed to lead for a long time. Parents need to check their children for blood tests and to eliminate the possibility of lead poisoning. The second one is people who live in older home. As lead is actually present in almost everything, paint, especially in older houses, also contains lead. The house needs to get inspected to prove that the house is free from paint containing lead. Once the paint containing lead is removed, some precautionary steps need to be taken, such as layering the paint with wallpaper or with other paints. Next, people who want to rent or buy a home. Sometimes we do not even know when a particular house was built and what kind of material used in piping, painting, and more. They need to be aware about the danger of lead by asking the previous owner or the owner itself about the possibility of lead present in pipe or paint. In addition, workers involved in lead occupational hazard. Manufacturing and construction workers are those at higher risk to the threat of occupational lead exposure. They should not take the standard operating procedure lightly, as it was created to lessen or avoid long-term and direct exposure to lead. Last but not least, potteries and ceramic users. Household objects made from pottery or ceramic may contain lead, especially the one which is handmade. Before getting any pottery or ceramic objects, they need to check and recall information about the possibility of lead present. Avoid buying import pottery and ceramic household objects, as the possibility of the glaze were not formulated very well are high.
Now, what are the causes of lead poisoning? The first one is it can be from our water resources. Do you know that during earlier days, our household plumbing used lead and metal pipes? And as years pass, these pipes will begin to corrode and contaminate our water supply with lead if they are not replaced. Next, it can be from the paint used in our house. Some paint may contain lead chromate and lead carbonate. So, when the paint begins to crack and peel, especially from the place where our hands can easily touch, the risk to pick up the lead particles is really high. To prevent this, we must keep our home well maintained and always fix the peeled paint. Most importantly, don't sand the paint because it can produce more dust particles that may contain the lead. Soil can also be one of the causes of lead poisoning. Do you know that lead particles from gasoline, lead smelters, and paint that have been deteriorated from older houses can remain in the soil for years? When this contaminated soil was used for agricultural purposes, the plants that we eat may contain lead as it may absorb the lead particles from the soil. Most toys for children that are made up of plastic and painted with paint may also contain lead. We do know that children love to put the toys in their mouth. Due to this, they can accidentally ingest the lead particles on the toys. This is why parents must always wash children's hands, especially after outdoor play, before eating, and at bedtime. Their toys also have to be washed regularly to reduce the hand-to-mouth transfer of lead particles from the contaminated dust, soil, paint, and also toys. Lastly, lead exposure can also come from the workplace. Persons who involve in the occupations that may have contact with lead can potentially transport the lead dust from their workplace to their homes. To reduce the risk of lead exposure, always clean dusty surfaces and remove shoes before entering the house so that the soil that has been contaminated with lead will remain outside the house. What are the symptoms of lead poisoning? The symptoms normally appear once the amount of lead accumulated in the body has reached dangerous level. You must know that a person who seems to be healthy might have high level of lead in their body. This is why knowledge on lead poisoning is important and the society must be aware on how they may get lead exposure. In children, the symptoms of lead poisoning are developmental delay, learning difficulties, weight loss, loss of appetite, sluggishness and fatigue, vomiting, constipation, hearing loss, and pica, which is eat things that are not food, such as paint chips. In newborns, the symptoms of lead poisoning are born prematurely, low birth weight, and slow growth. Lastly, the symptoms of lead poisoning that can be seen in adults. They may have high blood pressure, joint and muscle pain, difficulties with memory and concentration, headache, abdominal pain, reduce in sperm count and abnormal sperm, and lastly, miscarriage and premature birth.
People need to know about the danger of lead poisoning as it impacts our health in a bad way. Some of the effects in children is it attacks the central nervous system and brain of a child. This causes mental retardation. In adult, lead poisoning causes memory loss and depression. They might also experience heart problem. People should also know who are at a high risk of getting lead poisoning. Younger children are at a greater risk of getting lead poisoning because they absorb the lead easily.
We need to know this information as we are always related to some situations that encourage lead poisoning, such as when we want to buy or rent an old house. This is because the old house sometimes are painted with lead-based paint. Tiny fragments of lead paint can float through the air and accumulate on surfaces throughout the house. Besides, we also need to know about this lead poisoning as it is important when we want to buy the toys for the kids. Some toys may contain lead, which can be harmful to the child. We also use water from the pipes in our daily lives. Some pipes were actually made of lead, and brass fixtures can also contain some lead. This will lead to lead-contaminated water. If we are the workers which involve in occupational lead hazard, this is also important for us to concern with, as the workers are very easily to be exposed to the lead, such as inhale the lead dust or fumes. Lastly, this is important to know when we are active in gardening because growing vegetables near an old house or in an urban area possesses the lead hazard.
It will be delivered by using a video because animation and motion used in the video is colorful and attractive. The video also enables the information to be summarized. These two characteristics can prevent the target audience, as mentioned before, from getting bored. The information in the video is well organized to ensure the understanding of the target audience. There is a speaker in the video that will explain about lead poisoning that can reduce the possibilities of misunderstanding among the target audience. The duration of the delivery by using the video is moderate around 5 to 10 minutes. Some target audience, such as parents and those working in industry, are busy and have difficulties to spend a long time to watch the video. Besides, if the video is too long, the target audience will get bored and might forget the important points. If the video is too short, the information will be incomplete, which can threaten the target audience health. And if the speaker speaks too fast, the target audience will find difficulties to digest the important information. Thus, duration of the delivery is just moderate.
So, because of our targeted group age is between 18 and above, we will use Facebook and Instagram as our tools to reach them. This is because, according to AGU by National Research Council, Facebook and Instagram is the most popular social media platform preferred by the age of 18 to 54 years old. Facebook is a wide-range platform. It has larger audience compared to the other social media. According to Hertz Communication in 2018, Facebook currently boasts nearly 2 billion monthly users, while Instagram has only 700 million monthly users and is on trend to add another 100 million every 6 months. This shows us that Facebook is the best choice for us to convey our message regarding this issue to the larger audience. Despite of the Facebook wide range, Instagram is better at high volume engagement. This is because its users are not only generous in giving like, but also spend their time more on the company page when they reach the page. We will make people aware about this issue by deliver it in English. Why? This is because we all know that English is the language of international communication, and most importantly, most of the Malaysian citizens can understand English well. They are good in both Malay and also the English language. By right, English is the second language to Malaysian, but in reality, those in the urban areas take it as a first language. So, this will give us a greater chance to raise awareness regarding lead poisoning in Malaysia.